Hi, I'm Ukulele Clare, and a lot of students ask me why some chords are harder to make than others. And some chords actually are harder to make than others. Take the odious E chord. But for the rest of the chords, you can make them a lot more easily by changing how you're holding the ukulele with your entire arm. Let's take a look. When I was first learning the E minor chord, I had a lot of trouble with that weird, kind of unnatural angle your fingers have to take to get there. And it wasn't until I noodled around for a long time that I realized if I think of the chord as starting from here and using my entire arm to reach that spot in the most natural angle possible, that I finally got that E minor chord. What was the secret? The secret was move my elbow in and look how my fingers are naturally delivered to the fretboard at the right angle. My thumb is hitching a ride across the top of the uke. It's laying across my palm, which is usually a no-no, but there's an exception to every rule. And then I just curl my fingers into that stair-steppy shape, and voila, an E minor chord. So thinking about a chord as starting at your shoulder, with your elbow in, your fingers are delivered at an angle. Look at the F. Yeah, that's nice and easy. If I bring my elbow out, my fingers are delivered parallel with the frets. Hello, easy peasy D chord. So what I did was I just practiced those two kind of extreme arm positions to get from D to E minor. And it involves a whole hand switch. My hand has to slide back up, elbow out, brings those fingers in, glue them together in midair. Bada boom. Slide my hand down, elbow in, the fingers are delivered at exactly the right angle. Bada bing. So I got those two chords finally by realizing it's more than about the fingertips when it comes to making a chord. One thing about learning to do anything physical is that your mind can come up with a brilliant idea like that, but it takes your body a while to figure out how to fulfill that brilliant idea. And first it goes through its whole flip book of experience of what movements that it has become familiar with. If you've never played the ukulele before, it doesn't have any flip books to go through, so it has to map out each movement afresh. So giving your hand time, watching, I learned so much about making chords by just approaching slowly, watching as my fingers start making the chord in midair and pop down into that spot. And then when I ask the hand to make a new chord, watch as all of the movements that it takes to make that new chord. And getting them back and forth in time for the song, that's just a lot of practice. I've asked a lot of really good instrumentalists, what's the key to your flying fingers? And they all say, hours and hours of practice. But practice doesn't have to be a drudge. I use songs to guide my practice and inspire me through those hard spots. Because the song, I love the song, and so it pulls me along. And I just take it a phrase at a time for those hard chord changes and explore what my arm can do, what my wrist can do, different grips can do, and I find that way that works for me. We all have different strengths, limitations, ways that our bodies and nerves and muscles are wired. So use that to your advantage. Take the time to get to know how you work best, how you can find those chords best. But give that old elbow trick a try, and you might just find your way to an easier chord change. One thing you'll also notice about instructional videos is that everybody's got a little bit of a different way not only of teaching, but of doing. You'll find some people teaching to pinch the ukulele between your thumb and fingers to make chords. I'm more of a put it right in the pocket and drape your fingers down to make chords that way. So there are many ways of doing everything. So really, noodle time is your best friend when it comes to finding the right way to do things. So leave a comment below if you have any questions about this or to celebrate a victory. Give it a thumbs up if it worked for you. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like more tips and tricks. Also, let me know below if you would like any videos about any other questions you have about playing the ukulele. There's also a good amount of information at ukuleleclare.com, where I have classes. I have online classes and what I call shenanigans, which are sing-along, play-along sessions. So join on in the fun, and thank you so much for stopping by.